Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing really well. Right, okay, this video is going to be quite personal, so yeah, it's going to be quite different, you know, for a video here on my channel. And I'm aware that the lighting is quite crap and a bit fuzzy, and the quality of the video won't be the best. But really, this video was quite spontaneous, and I didn't even know I was going to film today. I just thought, I need to sit down and film this, you know? I needed to. So basically, I thought that I would film my coming out story. Whether you guys are interested or not, I don't know. But there is a lot of things that I want to talk about because recently on my channel there is one video in particular that has got quite popular, and that is my how to wash my Bratz doll's hair. Now, that's on about 12k, you know, about 12k views, and even though that's amazing and I'm so happy, thank you all, you know, thank you millions, with that has come quite a lot of negativity and confusion and rudeness and ignorance, a lot of words. No, there's become a lot of hate on that video, so it's like, are you a boy or a girl, you look ugly, what's that on your face, be a man or be a girl, you know, kind of really ignorant, homophobic, hate, you know, just normal stuff, you know, that a lot of people get here on YouTube, and I'm not saying I'm different in any way whatsoever, because I am not, you know, I expected it, and it's gonna happen, and that's life. I decided to make videos, I should be big enough to take the crap, which I am. But I still don't think it's okay. Like, it's not okay. You shouldn't just have to be okay with it, do you know what I mean? So anyway, this kind of inspired this video. That was a bit rambly, but this is why I felt like I wanted to start to address these type of things on my channel. Okay guys, basically, I've always known I was gay, you know? Like, even when I was little, I was always very aware, not necessarily that I was gay, because, come on, I was a kid, and I didn't really know, you know, gay, straight, lesbian, kind of understand it, because I was a kid. But I always knew I was different, you know, I played with the girls at school, the girls were my friends, I played house, you know, I liked dolls, I liked girls' programs, I was obsessed with, like, the Powerpuff Girls, and, you know, all that stuff, and I just knew I was different. Now, my family, luckily, are very supportive, and, you know, have always been there for me. The only person that I have had a problem with by coming out was my dad. And that seems to be a very familiar story from a lot of different people, is that it's the father that seems to struggle the most. Now, I was never super close with my dad in the first place, so him not really accepting me was never the end of the world, you know what I mean? But anyway, I was 14 when I came out, which is very young, and I always said to myself in my head, I am not going to be the one person that hides away and, you know, grows up hiding who I am, covering up who I am, acting different because I don't want people to know that I'm gay. I never wanted to live a lie. I always wanted to be me. I wanted to have a very true life, you know, just a life that I could say I was proud of, you know. I didn't want to waste it. I didn't want to try and get girlfriends and be butch and, you know, cover up actually who I truly was. Because, in my opinion, and I know it's so different for everyone, so this is just my opinion and my story, you know, if that's what you're doing right now, and I hope to God that you're not, because I wouldn't want to be in that situation, and it breaks my heart that there is people out there hiding who they are because they're scared, or because people are compressing them, you know, to be something they're not. Like, it truly breaks my heart. Like, you know, it's just so horrible, and it's so sad. It's so sad, because you should be able to be yourself, you know? This world is so big and diverse and there's so many different types of people, yet everything is still so wrong and people still have so far to come in acceptance and accepting people that are different, and it's just one of them things. It's a struggle. But anyway, I was 14, and around that time for a couple of years I was struggling to actually say the words, you know? Like, my family knew, but I just had to say it, you know? So, you know, like I say, I played with dolls, I was very feminine. It was obvious, but I wanted to say it, to be real. I wanted it to come from me, and that it was from my mouth that I was gay. So, anyway, my uncle is gay, and he, like, hid it until he was, like, 40. And he had kids, and he had a wife. And that, to me, is such a shame. Like I was saying, it makes me so upset. It does, like, it just does. But, and I was asking my mum questions about him, you know, about how he came out, and, you know, just being very inquisitive and asking a lot of questions. And my mum kind of knew that that was me trying to gather up information to try and come out myself. So all she said to me was, "Are you comfortable in your sexuality?" That's all she said. "Are you comfortable in your sexuality?" You know? And I just broke down. I just completely broke down. I was crying. I said no. And I didn't mean I wasn't comfortable being gay. I meant I wasn't comfortable hiding that I was gay. I wanted everyone to know. I wasn't comfortable being so restricted and so compressed and so just, I felt like I needed to explode. I needed to tell everyone I was gay. You know, I'm gay. That's that. I needed to. And then me and my mum just, like, sat there and cried. And not because we were sad, because I was relieved and my mum was proud of me. And it was kind of a beautiful moment. And it was so uplifting. I just felt so free. Just telling that one person face to face, I felt free. I felt this weight be lifted up off my shoulders, and I felt completely I just felt so good, basically. It was the best thing well, my mum helped me, but the best thing I ever did. And then from there, I got my mum to, you know, kind of help me tell my brothers and my sisters and the rest of my family, and we did. And like I say, my dad at first told me he was proud and that it doesn't change anything and that he still loved me, and he gave me a hug, and I thought that that was okay. I thought that everything was fine. Then things started to change, and my dad started to be very horrible with me. He would say nasty homophobic things in arguments or in certain situations. He was kind of embarrassed of me, even back when I was a kid and I played with dolls and girls' toys. Like, I would go down the boys' aisle. Sorry, I'm talking quite fast. I would go down the boys' aisle and none of the toys would interest me in the slightest. Not a single one. Like, I was like, get me down the girl aisle and to the dolls and to the, like, girls' toys. And I loved them. I always played with girls' toys. Now, my dad always argued with my mum, and so did, like, some of my other family members, like, you know, you shouldn't be getting girls' toys, you know, you shouldn't be doing it, no. Anyway, my mum was like, no, he wants them, that's what makes him happy, and I'm going to do it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And I can't thank my mum enough for having that opinion and being that strong to fight off everyone else's shitty opinion. And she always allowed me to be who I was. Now, then, when my dad started to be quite funny with me, I didn't really feel surprised. I was kind of expecting it. And I remember one day we went out and I'd started to wear makeup, and he made me walk behind him. And Do you know how belittling and embarrassing it is to be told that you are not good enough to walk beside somebody and that you have to walk behind them because you embarrass them? I have never felt so small and so meaningless and so stupid in my entire life than that day, and I will never forgive him for that. I do speak to my dad now, and he's changed, and he is very accepting of me and my boyfriend and us being together, and he's changed his kind of attitude towards me, which I am thankful for, but obviously I can't take away all the things he did to me when it mattered the most, you know, when I was still in the early processes of coming out and I needed people the most. Like, I will never forgive him for treating me that way and not being there for me, and that's the way it is, and I can't say sorry for that. Like, that's the truth. Now, when I came out, I was a little bit more myself. I started to be a little bit more, you know, loud and, like, I'm here type of thing, you know, a bit sassy, a bit, you know, kind of making up for kind of lost time for when I was, like, compressing myself in, when I knew that I was being a bit too feminine and I would hold back. I stopped holding back, and I was like, you know what? I am who I am. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And I can tell you, that opinion really has helped me as I grew up. Like, trust me, it has helped me so much, because once I was out, I said, you know what? If anybody, and I mean anybody, so that be my brothers, my sisters, my auntie, my, you know, cousins, anyone, if you don't like me and you can't accept me for me, then bye-bye. Like, leave my life. I don't need you. I don't need the negativity. I don't need horribleness. I need love and support and kindness, and thank God I got so much of that. I still do. You know, I still do to this day. I still get so much love, so much support and kindness and acceptance, and I wish that everyone did. I wish that the world wasn't so horrible and that so many people have to go through such horrible times in their life. But they do, and it's so sad. It's so sad. So it's like my personality had always been there, you know. I was just, like I say, I'm repeating myself now, but a feminine kid. I like dolls. I wasn't interested in boys' things, you know. I even knew, like, back when I was in, like, year 6 that I was attracted to boys and not girls, and I didn't really know what that meant, you know. I didn't really know what the word was, or, like, I knew nobody else was. Like, I know that no other boys were fancying each other. Like, I mean, I don't know that for sure, obviously, but I knew that it was, like, the girls fancied the girls. The girls fancied... Let's start again. I knew that the girls fancied the boys and the boys fancied the girls. Yes, God, thank you, finally. So I knew that, and I knew that I didn't. I knew that I fancied boys, and I was a boy, and I was like, oh, well, that's different. That's not what everyone else is doing. Okay. Right, and I was never, like, ashamed of myself, or I never went home and cried, like, please change me. That was a loud bus. You know, please change me, I want to be different. Like, if you could pass me a button now and I could press it and it would make me straight, I would tell you where to go. I would say, off, because I am so happy that I am who I am, and I am so unapologetic of who I am. And as I got more confident and, you know, things like that, I started to wear makeup, and I asked my mum could I use her foundation, and you know what, this is a whole other story, and if you want to, like, you know, a video on me wearing makeup for the first time and how people reacted to that, then I'll do a video. But, like, I started to express myself through makeup, and I always wanted to be able to wear makeup, and, you know, now I do, and now I don't give two friggin' F's who has a bad opinion on it. Like, I get nasty opinions in my comments saying, you are a boy, you should not be wearing makeup, or are you a girl, like, that's so wrong, you're disgusting, you're a gay boy, you're a faggot. Yes, I am gay, yes, hon, yes, I am. And you telling me that I'm a faggot, you telling me that me wearing makeup is wrong, you think that I sit here and cry. You think that I genuinely sit here after all that I have gone through in real life, not just like keyboard warriors, all that I have gone through in my real life, do you think that you bother me? Do you think that I'm crying or that you actually upset me? Then you are sadly mistaken. I have had every name in the goddamn book said to me. I have been called everything under the sun. I have had all the, like, horrible names, the horrible looks. I've had it all, and you can't hurt me. So, leave a bad comment, tell me I'm ugly, tell me all the makeup on my face is disgusting, tell me I should be a man, and, you know, all this stuff. And ask yourself, does he really care? Because your opinion is so irrelevant. All I care about is kind people, loving people, supportive people, and this channel is for positivity and acceptance. And all I do is do some makeup and review some dolls, and it's really just normal stuff. Like, it's nothing really big. But you don't see the bigger picture. I want people to be inspired by me, you know? That's all I've ever wanted. So, yeah, basically that is my coming out story. Now, I do want to do a video on how I was treated in high school, which is a very whole big story, a big different kind of, like, you know, just a different story. And I will do a video on, like, me starting to wear makeup and how that has been a thing. Like, I'll do a video on that. But basically, this is how I came out, and I just want to say to people who are struggling and are having a hard time to come to terms with the fact that they may be gay, or that their family may not accept them, or they're scared of what people may think or say or treat them, or anything like that, that things do get better. And I know that other people out there live such a different life and have such a different surrounding, and, you know, it isn't so safe to be who you want to be. But trust me, the second you are, you know, honest about who you are and accept yourself, then things just open up and your world becomes so much brighter. So much brighter. And I used to sit there and cry and say, I'm never going to have anyone, no one's ever going to want me, no one's ever going to love me. And now I'm in a very happy and loving relationship with an amazing man, and you know what? Life isn't so bad, and you know, for all the shitty people and things out there, life is good and you can make it good. And I will do an advice video on all things to do with coming out and being gay and my experiences, and I hope to God that they help you. And I hope even this video, even though it's probably been a bit all over the place, a little bit rambly, I hope it's kind of helped. And like I say, it was really spontaneous. I didn't even know I was going to film this. I just felt I felt like I needed to because of all the negativity on my channel. On that video, I wanted to be a voice of something bigger than makeup or Bratz dolls. I wanted to talk about real life things that are really important to me, and this topic in particular touches home with me, and I want to start to help people. I now nearly have 600 subscribers, and even though that's not thousands, that is enough people that if I can inspire them, if I can help them, I will, and I hope to God I do. I really, really do. Anyway, I think this video has been long enough and I've got to the point of this one. But yeah, guys, I really hope this helped you, and you know what? You're not alone, and if you need any help, then, you know, contact me in the description, not in the description, contact me in the comments. But if you don't feel like you want to do that or confident enough, then follow me on Instagram and inbox me, and if you have any questions or you're struggling and you want some advice, ask me. I have a Twitter, ask me on there. I will help you in any which way I can, possibly, like I will help you. You are not alone, and I want to be the person that can help, you know? There are so many people out there that are, you know, kind. Sorry, I just want to be supportive, guys, so I need to go for a cry. But yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you liked it, and I hope that this was comforting and, you know, made you feel a little bit inspired and accepted, and, you know, feel and know that you are all loved, and that no matter what anyone says, you know, you're perfect just the way you are, and you are no less, you know, no less of a person than anybody else. You really, really are not, you know. We are all important people here on this planet. So, I'm getting really earthy now. Bye guys, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, I really mean that. Thank you so much. Bye. Don't forget, my lovelies, you can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter.